Hey there everyone, it's Val, and welcome to the Iceberg of Missing Watch Time. In this video, I will show you that my watch hours on YouTube are inaccurate, and unless my analytics view is severely broken, so are yours. I'll present my evidence that certain categories of watch time are not being recorded, or they're being thrown away by YouTube. I have come up with several possible reasons for this. A, something fundamental is being stored and or calculated client-side that can be interfered with. And B, YouTube could be discarding legitimate watch time as invalid without notification. So far, I have found one method that tentatively explains some of my watch time going missing on the client side, and another example tentatively explaining 140 plus hours of missing watch time over 7 to 8 days. There are likely far more examples from my channel alone. If I had the time and energy required to poll all my viewers and collate it all and run tests, well, I don't. There is a deadline approaching. Why is this video important to you? Well, legitimate small creators are being judged and are due to be executed based on their watch time. Many will be kicked out of the YouTube Partner Program on the 20th of February 2018 based on inaccurate watch times. If I'm correct, there's the potential for bad actors to falsify watch time to stay in the YouTube Partner Program. The very same bad actors the change is supposed to eliminate. This is the tip of a huge iceberg of missing watch time for all creators. That is, the watch hours used in determining how visible a video is on YouTube, and thus directly affecting the visibility of any channel. Why am I doing this video now, today? If the YouTube Partner Program deadline of the 20th of February wasn't fast approaching, I would have taken more time to collect more supporting data and to try to figure out exactly what is going on with the missing watch hours, as well as given YouTube more time to stop replying with vague, semi-canned responses and actually read and understand my concerns and answer my specific questions. But time is running out. I'm afraid that once legitimate small creators are removed from the YouTube Partner Program, even if YouTube acknowledges that there's issues and or fixes one or more of them, it'll be too late, and those legitimate creators that were unfairly removed will not be automatically reinstated into the program. I'm one of those small creators. So, speaking of that, who is Val, anyway? I've been on YouTube since March 2013, accompanied by song in the background. I have almost 2,100 videos and VODs to date. Using games as a medium, I tell stories through serious and light roleplay, both through pre-recorded videos and live streaming. I joined the YouTube Partner Program in mid-2017 purely for access to the tools. I don't monetize my videos. This isn't about money. I ended up enabling sponsors and Super Chat when they became a thing, basically to give my viewers more things to play with when they're watching my live streams. In short, I'm an older creator who targets a niche viewer base, who's had personal battles with stress and effects of a disability, and who, despite these ongoing issues, has committed to providing daily content since the 16th of January in my struggle to meet the new YouTube Partner Program requirements with the help of my loyal viewers. And now, my voyage to the iceberg. I'll preface this by saying that as I went along this voyage of discovery, I kept hoping that what I was uncovering was wrong, that I made a fundamental error somewhere, that YouTube couldn't possibly be making decisions on something that had such a huge flaw, that my channel, for some reason, had a severely broken analytics display, that the watch time was there, being recorded behind the scenes, and I just wasn't seeing it. But the evidence to the contrary just kept mounting, and YouTube's replies seemed to keep missing the main issues, and despite numerous requests, failing to provide me with any evidence that my analytics were just showing wrong data, so I have to assume that it's correct. And in fact, they haven't even specifically answered any of my questions. And now time is running out. The 20th of February is almost here. I think the best way to show you the evidence is through the series of emails and data that I provided YouTube through the YouTube Partner Program email contact. So, let's take a look at the timeline of the iceberg of missing watch time. On the 16th of January, of course, everybody knows the new YouTube Partner Program requirements were announced. If you need 4,000 watch hours in the last year, you have to have both these things, and more than 1K in subs. And there was no grandfathering of existing small creators into the program. I already have greater than 1K subs, so I wasn't worried about that part. But I did vow to do my best to reach the new limit on watch hours by streaming reliably 5 times a week and starting to release new pre-recorded content on my days off. I asked my viewers to help out as well by watching in legitimate ways, and I emphasize that all along, legitimate ways, the new daily content and older content as they had the time. And I have to say, my viewers have been fabulous. They have really stepped up. And even though YouTube has been throwing away a lot of watch hours, I still am seeing an amazing amount. I did all this under the assumption that the watch hours were being accurately recorded by YouTube. I did also start tracking my watch hours like a hawk through analytics because I was keeping a track of how things were going and whether we'd be likely to be able to reach the 4,000 watch hours by the deadline. So by the 8th of February, I had started to suspect something had gone wrong. Something had changed from what I'd been seeing the last few weeks of January. My watch hours were dropping in February, but they were dropping some days more than I knew had actually been watched just through talking to people. So that's when I started investigating the data I could most quickly and easily test. And basically, I started poking around to see what the analytics look like on my husband's views and watch time. Now, he watches on his own computer with his own account. And because I have very few regular viewers, as it happens, I don't seem to have any currently in Canada. So it was really easy to look. We're in Canada. Is there Canada watch time? So you can see why I'm saying that this is something that only a really small creator who was watching things like a hawk would have noticed. Because you'd have to get these discrete times. Anyway, let's start the slideshow of the iceberg of missing watch time. To start off with, I sent a message to the YouTube Partner Program. Unfortunately, I didn't realize what a saga this was going to turn into, and I neglected to do a screenshot at the time. I did, however, copy and paste what I had posted and let some people on Discord know that I had sent it. So I do have the text that I actually sent them. Between February 1st and 2nd, it appears a change was made to discount watch hours from the same IP address as a creator, or there is a bug. As an example, on February 5th and 6th, my husband watched my 2 latest episodes of Tacoma. We're in Canada. There are 0 watch time for Canada for those 2 episodes on those dates. They're marked N/A. Hubby was previously watching old content from a separate computer on his YouTube account. At the same exact time, I was working on things on YouTube and or watching other creators' videos on my own account. He was doing this to support my channel in a legitimate fashion. Whenever he got up from the computer, he'd pause the video and resume it when he sat down again. So it should be quite obvious it's a separate person and not a bot and not false watch time. But since February 2nd, the amount of Canada watch time doesn't affect his watching the videos I know he watched. Why am I, a small creator with a supportive husband, being tarred with the same brush as thieves and cheats? Now, my first initial theory was that, like as I say here, that if you were watching from the same IP address as the person who owned the account that the videos were created on, then those were being blocked. I mean, it seems like a logical thing to do. I don't think it's a valid thing, as I explain here, but that was my first theory as to what was going on. I had no idea of the rabbit hole that I was about to go down into. Right, so here we have an email from the 9th of February, which is a... Actually, this is my response to their response. So the first part is the response from YouTube to me, saying hi and thanks for contacting the YouTube creator support team. Then this is standard text, so I won't read it all. I just basically provided them with the URLs to the things that I talked about in the original message. So they had all the information they needed, I thought, at this point, to go forward and, give me an actual response. On the 10th of February, I also sent out a tweet to Team YouTube. I figured might as well cover my bases and see if there's anybody else out there that might know what was going on. And I said, is there a major problem with watch time not being counted or being severely delayed past 72 hours? I thought the issue was isolated to my household/IP, but I've been talking with viewers who have been watching a lot more time than is showing in February 2nd to 7th in analytics. And what I had done is I had been on Discord and talking about the email that I had just sent to YouTube, and people were saying, well, I was watching this during this time frame, and another person says I was watching this playlist in this other time frame. And so when I added it all up, it just didn't make any sense, and that's why what I'm talking about is slightly different from the original message that I sent to YouTube. So then, on the 10th of February, I actually had gotten a response, but I hadn't read it yet, from the YouTube Partner Program. And basically, they're saying, hi, we understand you have concerns about how watch time are counted. I see watch hours for both videos around those dates. YouTube's analytic reports is delayed by 48 hours to provide more accurate data. Please let me know if there's anything else. So I'm like, okay. The hours that I was talking about were from the 5th and the 6th, which is a little bit more than 48 hours. So I decided to reply to that. Hello! Please find enclosed a PDF going into more detail about this issue. Short version, I'm not seeing any Canada watch time for either video still. Other countries, yes. Canada, no. However, my investigations uncovered a much larger issue with my channel's analytics data affecting hundreds of my videos, along with an extreme delay in watch hours being processed in general. Thus, the much longer PDF with more detail and screenshots from the analytics on my channel for various example videos. I hope this will provide enough information to show that I have a valid basis for concern. Thank you, and I hope to hear from you soon. Right, so now we are going to go over the actual PDF. I did redact, like I said, some of the private information. I did provide them with two versions of the PDF. The first one, I had made an error in my issue number 2 section, and I corrected that, and 2 hours later sent them an updated PDF. So I just wanted to say that, even though it probably doesn't matter in the long run, I just want to be transparent about the whole process. Right, so this is the first page of the PDF. Thank you so much for your fast answer. I delayed responding until this evening, the 10th of February 2018, to give analytics more time to correct itself before providing you with additional information. My channel URL for your convenience, my URL. After a lot of further investigation today, I have found out a lot more details. It may be that we have an intersection of two issues that are muddying the waters. I'm still extremely concerned that my watch hours are not accurate in the underlying data, i.e. not being properly recorded and or not being recorded in a timely manner. If I wasn't making a push to get to the 4K watch hours to remain in the YouTube Partner Program, I wouldn't have been keeping such a close eye on things and thus becoming more easily worried given that the deadline is fast approaching. If it turns out that analytics is, for some reason, just not showing me watch hours correctly, but it is there in the underlying data that YouTube is using to determine eligibility for the YouTube Partner Program, then that is a display issue that should be addressed, but isn't urgent. I want to make sure it isn't more than that for obvious reasons, since a decision about my continued participation in the YouTube Partner Program will be based upon this data. If the underlying data is incorrect or unduly delayed, then any decision resulting from it also has the potential to be incorrect and cause my unfair termination from the program. Issue number 1, watch time not reflecting actual times and countries after 120 plus hours. You may notice that is somewhat severely longer than 48, or the 72 that is recorded on the YouTube help pages. First, the two Tacoma videos, episodes 5 and 6, are still not showing Canada watch time as of the writing of this email, 10 p.m. MST. I do see watch time from other countries, but not Canada. Given that I know my husband, who is residing in the same house as myself in Alberta, Canada, we don't use VPNs, watched both my episodes 5, released the 5th of February, and 6th, released the 6th of February on the day of their release, the fact that it still shows 0 Canada watch time indicates that either A, the Canada watch time was not recorded, or B, the Canada watch time has not yet been processed. There is no visual indication that there is a data delay in analytics, as has been the case in the past. It has now been 6 and 5 days respectively since the release of those videos, well past the 72 hours analytics data delay mentioned in YouTube help documents online, and even further past the 48 hours you mentioned in your response email. Does your watch time for the older of the two, episode 5, show something different from what I'm seeing as of 8 p.m.? And so if you look at the diagram there, I have written in red in the center of the screen, note, no Canada watch time at all. Should be 39 minutes. Hopefully you can read that. It says 0%. Well, the Canada is not listed. Actually, you can tell that it's just not listed. It's not there because everything's longer than the word Canada. Note that over the day today, 27 hours of missing watch time has been added to the entirety of the 1st of February to the 9th of February analytics graph, but the hours seem to be from the 1st to the 5th of February. This indicates to me more evidence that analytics watch time process is far more delayed than the stated 72 hours, with no text indication on the graphs that there's any issue occurring. Note, as I was writing this, the chart updated again, going up to 32 hours by adding 5 hours to the 3rd of February. That's a delay of 7 days, not 72 hours. Secondly, I've been polling some of my viewers on how much they've been watching since the 1st of February. Note, not all of my viewers, so any numbers are estimates and are below what the actual watch times would be, given that I didn't poll every single one. Viewers A and B, husband and wife with a new baby. A, we've watched it consistently through the entire week, volume up, awake on our Hulu. Question from me at 6 p.m. on the 10th of February. FYI, my current data showing 7 hours of watch time on Project Renascinctus between February 1st to 9th. That sound about right? Answer. Considering we're on episode 30 from episode 1, no. Now, just to tell you what Project Renascinctus is, this is a live stream series, and every episode would be between, on average, 2 hours to 4 hours long, sometimes 5 if I went late that day. So you can see that if they're on episode 30, that doesn't quite add up. And the answer continued, we started up on episode 1. For reference, the first 5 episodes of Project Renascinctus alone are around 15 watch hours of time. They are, as of 6 p.m. MST, 10th of February 2018, on episode 30 of 41 videos. B, this is the wife. B, we started watching them on the Roku on the day we bought baby home, so that would have been Saturday, and that my note in there is saying that that's the 3rd of February that she's talking about. Started with episode 1 and we're way into it now. We've been letting it play in the background since baby keeps one of us at least up all hours of the day and night. Oh, and we're watching the live streams, not the highlights. Viewers C, D, and E all report around 8 hours of watch time a day on various playlists. Fallout 4, Staxel, Terraria, and Tacoma playlists. Some watch while at work, some at home. For brevity, I didn't include all their comments as they were similar. So based on only these 4 viewers, and I know I have more than that watching older content / newer content, an average day should be viewers A and B, 20 hours. Viewers C, D, and E, 8 times 3, 24 hours. Stream days. I have 2 to 6 viewers, and most of those stay the majority of the stream. This is on YouTube alone. I do actually multicast to Twitch, to Mixer, and to YouTube. This is only for YouTube, obviously, that I'm talking about. So that's an estimate of 3 viewers there for 2/3 of the stream. So 3 times 1 hour, because each stream is an hour and a half long. That's 3 hours. So a total minimum watch time per day expected, 44 hours on non-stream days and 47 hours on stream days. The actual total should be higher, as I said. There are other viewers I know who are watching more, but I didn't poll them. And in the data below, I have a star to indicate which days were non-stream days. So just looking at those numbers, you can see that in every single case, I'm missing, bare minimum, I'm missing 8 hours. And on some of the days, I'm missing a heck of a lot more than that. And this is data. This is being written on the 10th of February, so some of this data is over a week old, and it's still not there, so it's never going to be, because, well, you'll find out. As you can see, there's a significant discrepancy between what the minimum expected hours should be and what is being reported via analytics. To emphasize, these are the minimum hours I expect to see for these dates based on the reports from viewers. Actual watch time should be higher, as I didn't poll all my viewers. Given that some watch hours are still trickling in from the 2nd to the 4th of February, none additional yet for later dates, there's something very behind in the watch hour processing at minimum. Okay, so that was my first issue. My second issue, incorrect analytic statistics shown for some older videos. Now in here I go into some data anomalies that I've noticed about the past year on my channel. Some of them I have let YouTube know about and, well, nothing has happened, and others I haven't bothered because I didn't think it would cause any issues. But the reason that I go into this into what I'm talking about in this next section is because I wanted to give YouTube the information so that they could, if it was in fact something peculiar to my channel and my channel alone that was causing my analytics data to be not being reported to me correctly, then I was trying to provide them with all the information I could to try to figure out what the problem was. Because as someone who has done debugging for programs in the past, I know that the more information you have about how something is behaving, the more easily it is to find the bug. It's really hard to find a bug with no information. So I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. I don't think this here is actually related to what we're seeing, but I wanted to include it for completion's sake so you can see everything that I sent to YouTube. Now we get into the other issue that may be muddying the waters. There is a range of videos, amongst at least some are in the playlist being cited as those being watched by my sampled viewers, which show some data anomalies both in lifetime analytics and when viewed as a viewer. Specifically, the like showing is 0 when other evidence says it shouldn't be 0. The example video included below is one that I know has been watched between the 1st of February and the 6th of February by viewers, yet analytics is still reporting 0 watch hours in that time range. It may be affected by the extreme reporting delay covered in issue number 1, or it might be a deeper issue related to the following described below. Wrong stream date. I've had a large number of videos affected by some weirdness that happened in the 23rd of June 2017 surrounding a false claim against my channel. The example video has also happens to be one of those affected. Hundreds of my videos were suddenly out of date order and had a stream date of the June 23rd, 2017 with varying times around 11 a.m. I don't know if the stream date weirdness is an indicator of some underlying data issue or not, but it may be related to the like count oddities described below, and it may in turn be related to watch hours as of yet not showing up on these videos. The first picture is a crop from my main videos pane to indicate the likes being reported there. And if we look down there right now, we can see, I can point on it. Okay, good. You can see that it says 0 likes and 0 dislikes. It does say 27 views. Remember that number, because that's interesting as well. The second picture is a crop from the analytics shown for the specific video. I ensured this was a lifetime analytics view of the video statistics. Example 1, visible issues. Wrong stream date. So down here it says stream June 23rd, 2017, but you can see from the title, that's the original date I streamed it. That was the 7th of February, 2016. So this is an old video. Wrong stream date shows 0 likes in the videos tab and lifetime analytics, despite at minimum 1 viewer having liked the video in the past. And then I explain that this was rewatched on either the 5th or 6th of February by my husband as a test video watch. On the watch page, he said it showed 0 likes, but his like button was marked as selected. When he unliked the video, the count went to -1, so this is from a viewer's point of view. He put the like back on after that and it returned to 0. So now we go down into the data for this particular thing, and this is a lifetime view, so this is the entire lifetime of the video. And yeah, 0 likes, 0 dislikes, oh, and 22 views. Despite here it's saying it's 27 views. Okay, right. Hopefully all this data I provided you shows that, at minimum, there's an issue with the analytics display on my channel, and at worst could also be affecting my watch hour accumulation report on your side as well. invisible videos. I'd also like to mention that after the June 2017 channel issue, for an unknown period of time, my videos were invisible to my viewers when they visited my channel, unless they went via playlist. This is the red boxed area in the picture. This is that time frame. When I was made aware of this, I joined the YouTube Partner Program and was able to get the issue fixed by the 9th of August. This can be seen by a visible dip in watch hours over that period in my analytics, and you can see it. And there was a dip there and then it went back up again, because this sort of behavior should have been the same all the way through here, and it wasn't. Note, the drop from September 2017 to December 2017, this portion of the graph, is due to personal stress issues and is directly related to a lower level of channel activity on my part in order to deal with that, and not due to any known issues being discussed here. Conclusion. I'm worried that the accumulation of all these issues could cause an unfair determination that my channel is to be ejected from the YouTube Partner Program when I may very well qualify but for these issues. So this is issue 1 and basically the invisible videos part of issue 2. These issues could also be affecting other channels who have experienced similar problems. If you have any questions or require additional details, I'll be happy to help. Thank you for your time. Val. So then I realized on the 12th of February, when I hadn't received a response after 2 days, that I'd been putting my comments at the end of the comment thread, and it's possible that their automated software might be thinking that I wasn't replying, so I took both of my answers that I had sent between the 10th and the 12th and put it at the top of a new email and sent that along. This is what I've got here. Hello, I just realized that putting my answers to you below the comment thread might cause it to not be sent to you properly, or for you to miss that I've replied with more information. Because of that, I'm sending this email with a copy of the February 10th PDF I referenced in today's email, and the early email reposted above the email thread. If you haven't read the PDF, you should read that before the follow-up email below. Below is a repost of the content of my last email. I corrected 2 small wording errors in the first paragraph. The post is otherwise unaltered. Hello again. I have some more extremely urgent data for you relating to issue number 1 covered in the PDF, the second corrected one. So the issue number 1 is missing watch hours. I sent to you on the evening of the 10th of February. Some hours after sending my last email, I had a light bulb moment. I now have a theory about what is causing the lack of Canadian watch data. Unless the watch data for my test Tacoma video episode 5 from the 5th of February is delayed even more than 7 days, I think I have evidence there's a major issue with how watch time is calculated. This is something I think only a small creator like myself would have noticed, someone who has been watching their statistics like a hawk. The issue for issue number 1. Something is being stored on the client that is being blocked by turning on an extension named X. Note, this is the blocker I'm talking about, not the VPN service. We use the blocker, not the VPN. I have redacted this information because I'm not 100% certain that my test was accurate, and I don't want to unfairly blacken the name of something, of an extension, when this is, I think, going to be a common issue with any privacy extension. Yesterday, the 11th of February 2018, in the morning, I asked my husband to turn off this particular extension against YouTube and rewatch Tacoma episodes 5 and 6 to test this theory. We installed this extension between the 1st and the 3rd of February, I can't remember the exact date, on his machine over concerns of cryptojacking occurring in a small portion of YouTube ads, i.e. the exact time period from which I first noticed Canadian watch time going missing, thus kickstarting my data hunt. Until then, he didn't have this extension installed on his machine at all. We both normally leave ads enabled on YouTube to support other creators. I also don't monetize my videos, so there is no issue in that regard when he watches my videos, because there's no ads for him to watch. The tests. Around 10 a.m. on the 11th of February, he turned off the extension as regards the YouTube site and watched both videos once. Then closed out of Chrome, reopened it, and rewatched both again. The extension still disabled as regards the YouTube site. Therefore, both videos were watched twice for this test on the 11th of February. We are located in Canada. Here are the statistics I can see as I write this email for Tacoma number 5, both pre-test and post-test. So here is the pre-test screenshot from the 10th of February with items of interest marked in red. And that is the No Canada watch time at all should be 39 minutes. Number 2 is the post-test screenshot from the 12th of February. And you can see that February 1st to 10th, there's no change. That data is still missing. Let me just flip back. If you look at the graph, you can see that the graph looks identical. And then you have the time go up because that's the test watch time without the extension on. So this period had the extension enabled, and this period had the extension disabled. And this is the watch time from the test. It says that there's a 50% Canada watch time. So, okay, so without the extension on, I was getting Canada watch time. So then I looked deeper into and drilled down into the actual Canada details. And I had to split this up into two slides because it was a little bit too big. So this is the same screenshot, just the bottom part of it here. Notice the data from February 11th. The extension is turned off for the YouTube test. So it looks fine. There was 1 watch hour and there was 2 views. So because the video is about half hour long, so that's right. And then once that goes away, you can see down there February 5th, 2018. That was the original time that I know that my husband watched the screen or watched this video, and 0 watch hours. It actually knew somebody had watched it, but that's all it knew. It didn't know how much for how long. And I think that's what the extension did. I think the extension stopped it from understanding how much had been watched. For reference, the post-test drill-down screenshot from 12th of February with items of interest marked in red for Tacoma number 6. The previous one was the previous episode number 5. This is the next episode. It shows the same data as Tacoma 5 except for the date of release and the original watch being on the 6th of February instead of the 5th. So then, again, split over 2 screenshots. If we look at the bottom, it's got the same pattern as episode number 5, February 11th. The test with the extension off worked fine. The watch hour was accounted for. The February 6th watch when the extension was enabled, again, it registered that somebody had watched, but not how much. I also included information about the blocker that I was using. I did not include the screenshots for the same reason that I said earlier. I don't want to unfairly blacken the name I think this is going to be something that will turn out to afflict all privacy extensions that block these things. Here, number 5, here's a screenshot of me watching a video with the blocker turned on. As you can see, the 2 things accruing data among the items being blocked are ads and fingerprinting. I suspect that fingerprinting, which are scripts, is where the watch hours are being accrued/calculated on the client side. I didn't say that there, but it's obviously clear it's on the client side. And number 6, here's the relevant page for fingerprinting from the blocker site. And I included that so they could see what things it was classifying as fingerprinting in case, that additional data helped them. So, this is still the email from the 12th of February. Very long, I know, but results. This discovery is very concerning for several reasons. Number 1, anyone who's using this extension and possibly others like it do not have their watch time accounted for in the analytics statistics. Therefore, creators' analytics watch hours are inaccurate and missing actual watch time, possibly a lot of watch time depending on the creator size. Number 2, whatever is being stored/computed on the client side is probably being done with fingerprinting. It could be the ad section doing the accruing, but I don't have the technical know-how to determine which is at fault. For the sake of argument, I'm going to assume it's the fingerprinting section. Concerns. Number 1, decisions affecting channels are being made with inaccurate watch hours. Security-conscious people who are watching videos with this extension or others like it turned on are not having their watch time accounted for, therefore rendering the metric of watch time as inaccurate and misleading. Any decisions rendered using this inaccurate data are therefore also inaccurate. This has the potential to unfairly remove small legitimate creators from the YouTube Partner Program, especially those who are close to 4K watch hours. I know watch time is used in other calculations, recommended, trending, etc., but that's not my current focus for this email. Number 2, watch hour accumulation potentially vulnerable to hacking. Is this calculation vulnerable to hacking by what YouTube has called bad actors in order to fake watch time? I lack the technical expertise to determine if it is in fact vulnerable, but the fact that something that accurate watch hour calculations rely upon is being stored on the client side is a major cause for concern. I had assumed that all accumulation and calculation would be done on YouTube's side in order to protect it from hacking. This evidence indicates that my assumption is in error. Final conclusions. Read the 16th of January updated YouTube Partner Program requirements. The addition of the 4K watch hours requirement is fundamentally flawed as a metric to determine membership in the YouTube Partner Program. Best case, small creators near the watch requirement will be unfairly removed from the YouTube Partner Program because not all the watch hours are being properly recorded. Worst case, the requirement will utterly fail at removing the bad actors, a stated purpose of the change, who will manipulate the data to qualify and instead only remove legitimate small creators from the program. I really hope I'm wrong about what my evidence is showing me. I'm hoping you can provide an explanation of what is going on that adequately addresses my concerns. As one of the small creators who is struggling to meet the new requirements, I want to be doing this on a fair playing field. The evidence indicates this is not the case. And then the last two paragraphs, please, if the data you can look at shows you the 5th to the 6th missing Canadian watch data for the videos Tacoma 5 and 6, i.e. that you can see it's being counted even though analytics is showing it to me as 0. I beg that you share a screenshot or other evidence with me showing that, with YouTube secret data redacted. As of yet, I haven't told anyone about the information my testing has uncovered because I'm still hoping that I'm wrong about this. Please let me know if you need any additional data. I'll update you if the missing data shows up, but I'm only giving it till the morning of Thursday, the 14th of February, before moving forward and assuming that my test is correct and showing a real issue with the accruing of watch hours. Thank you for your time. So then, I found some more information before they replied. This was on the 13th of February. Hello again, some more information that you may find useful. Viewers A and B, see PDF issue number 1, have finished watching my Project Renascinctus playlist. The data being shown so far in analytics is also not adding up. Please find attached my open office spreadsheet if you want to see the details. Summary posted here. Background. Viewers A and B brought their new baby home on Saturday the 3rd of February. As something to watch while taking turns tending to their newborn's needs, they've been watching my Project Renascinctus livestream playlist on their Roku TV. When they watch other creators' contents, they see ads, so it seems like the Roku TV isn't blocking those. I asked about ads as I couldn't ask about blocking extensions that may be installed without breaking my promise to you from my 12th of February email that I wouldn't speak to anyone until 14th of February to give you a chance to reply. Timeline, 3rd of February. They start watching the Project Renascinctus livestream playlist. There's a link to the playlist. 10th of February, they indicated they were on episode 30. The 11th of February, they reported finishing the Project Renascinctus playlist during the day and moving on to my Fallout 4 playlist. They are located in the United States, and as later we'll see, it's actually in Massachusetts. But total watch hours in the full playlist, 152.2 hours. See the attached OpenOffice spreadsheet for the breakdowns and math. Basically, what I did is I went through for every episode and I wrote down the exact hours and minutes and then did math on those to come up with these numbers. Total watch hours in the full playlist, 152.2. Episodes 1 to 30, estimate of expected hours from the 3rd to the 10th of February timeframe, 116.5 hours. Time reported to date, 12. 165.5 minus 12 equals 112.5 missing watch hours from these viewers alone for the 7-day period. This falls within the 72-hour analytic data delay window, so I report this for completeness only. So that's episodes 31 to 41, estimate of expected hours, 35.7, time reported to date, 4. I attached screenshots showing my analytic data for the playlist in question as of 3 a.m. on the 13th of February. Yes, I was having trouble sleeping. Before you wonder. Okay, so you can see that this information, it's from February 1st to February 11th, 16 hours of watch time. Now that's, from all over the world. It's not just from the particular spot in the US. But still, even so, you can see that there's just a little bit of watch hour time missing. About 140 total. Another test. I asked viewers A and B last night, this is the same email continued. I asked viewers A and B last night, the 12th of February, to watch a specific video, which is older, 48 minutes long, which will be very unlikely to be watched by anyone else, on their Roku TV, so I could see if it also failed to report the watch time. This was to try to see if there was something about the Roku TV that was preventing watch hour tracking, similar to the issue I've covered with the blocker Chrome extension. I didn't tell them exactly what I was testing. They agreed and watched the video. I'll be sure to report the results to you, as well as if any missing hours show up for the Project Renasinctus playlist for the days of 3rd to 11th of February on my analytics. So, I haven't actually reported the results to them because, frankly, I don't think they care. Well, you'll see further on. Anyway, conclusion. My concern is growing. How many more watch hours is my channel not having reported that I can't report details of to you? Is it just my channel that has grossly underreported analytics data that I can view? Is there data there and the analytics view is just not showing it to me? Or is it worse? This data is not being recorded at all. How long has this been going on? I've been working very hard since the 16th of January announcement to try to make the 4K watch hour requirement, going on faith that all the watch hours my viewers are putting in extra time to support me with are actually being recorded, only to find out that untold hours by my faithful viewers who are stepping up aren't even being recorded. I hope you can understand why I'm growing increasingly worried. If you can in fact on your side see that this playlist has the watch hours it should and that it's just not reporting the correct details to me on my side, I ask again for this playlist, please provide me with a screenshot, secret YouTube data redacted, so I can see what you're seeing and not go off on a wild tangent. I can only go by the data I see, and the data I see is making me more and more concerned. Okay, so later that day, 13th of February, I get a response back. Hello, Val, thanks for writing back. And then he starts talking about YouTube views. I know that I'll read the first line. I know that changing video view count can be frustrating, so I provided some information to clarify how it works. So basically, I looked at this and said that's pretty much a canned response. I'm just skimming over this to see if there's anything here. Okay, so the paragraph, occasionally when a video becomes popular quickly, doesn't apply to any of my stuff because I'm a smaller YouTuber. None of my stuff is really popular, particularly not my older 2-year-old stuff. So Project Renasinctus is over 2 years old, so I don't think it's taking longer because there's more data to process. But let's continue on. So I respond to this on the 13th of February. Hello, thank you for your reply. Unfortunately, you've gotten sidetracked from the main point, unrecorded watch hours by viewers on my videos. To address views, which I assume you pulled from issue number 2 of my corrected PDF, where I talk about missing likes and dislikes as some evidence that my channel possibly could have deeper data problems, I'm aware that views can fluctuate as they're validated. However, that my understanding is that this occurs on new, popular videos. The example video I've given for issue number 2 was neither new nor popular. It was in fact a live stream VOD from the 7th of February 2016. In addition, I was talking about the like values being incorrect, not the views. The only time I talk about views in that document at all is in reference to my viewers or the viewing of analytics data. I've just rechecked the Fallout 4 1.145 video, and the values are still incorrect in the same way they are in my PDF. So even if the issue were views still being validated, which I doubt given the age of the video, the since you brought them up, views and like-dislike counts are incorrect and inconsistent across the video tab, the lifetime analytics for the video, and what the viewer sees and has been since, at minimum, since the 6th of February, 1 week. They are still incorrect in the same manner as I reply here. However, the bulk of the data that I've been providing you with, and the subject of my original message, was watch time being incorrectly accrued. The last email you have replied to was about discovering from data provided by one specific couple that over 100 hours of watch time, and actually that value is now 140 hours of watch time, is missing from the 3rd of February to the 10th of February. I've just rechecked and Analytics is still reporting I only have 16 watch hours in that playlist from the 1st to the 11th. I repeat my request from the previous emails. I just basically cut and pasted my 2 requests for the playlist and for the Tacoma videos. If he can see or she can see the data is being correct on their side and it's not correct on mine, please tell me. because otherwise I have to assume that what I'm seeing is the actual numbers. And then I got another reply back on the 14th of February in the morning from YouTube. Hi Val, I hope all is well, and I've marked in red a new piece of information. And this, for what it's worth, is the only concrete piece of information I got out of this entire email exchange. We're rolling out an update to improve system accuracy and validation of views across YouTube. You may see view fluctuations on your channel from January 29th, 2018, as more or fewer views may be marked as invalid than before. So I'm not going to go over the rest of what is said here, but this finally made me think. Although my initial reaction was, you're talking about views again. I'm not talking about views. I'm talking about watch hour. Watch time. I can understand they want to make sure the videos are being viewed by actual humans and not computer programs. However, this is my initial response, which was, at that point, the 14th of February, I had two nights of insomnia, so I will admit I was not at my best. I missed something. The issue with missing watch hours. Thank you for your quick reply. I'm pleased that some systems are being updated for accuracy elsewhere in the YouTube environment. Perhaps you can suggest the tech teams look into the next issue, or looks next into the issue I've been talking about all along in this email thread, missing watch hours. I provided you with all the data I currently have on the subject in previous emails. On the subject of missing watch hours for my channel. If you have the time, perhaps you could reread them and see if you can help me with the issue I've been emailing you about. Thank you for your time. Yes, I did get a little snarky. I also was very careful to not put the word view anywhere in this email. Because I was like, maybe there's an automated bot that says if they put the word view in there, give them a canned reply. Okay, so then I just... Hello, YouTube person. I just wanted to follow up, and I did this about half an hour later, once I had time to cool off and think a little bit more about it. I just wanted to follow up. I realized I may have missed what you were trying to say with your response. I am on day 2 of insomnia, so I'm not quite as sharp as I prefer to be. But talking about views, are you saying that my missing watch hours are due to valid views on my channel tripping some filter that is marking them as invalid, and thus tossing out the watch time along with the views? Because if so, those watch hours being discarded are not false watch hours. It's throwing out legitimate watch time. I would appreciate clarification as to whether this is what you're trying to tell me. And before I got a response, I actually was chatting with my viewers that I call A and B, and they gave me permission to send the YouTube partner person, and subsequently permission to put them in this video, screenshots of our Discord conversations over time showing that they actually were watching the live stream series. They weren't just letting it play in the background in some bogus fashion. They were actually watching it. At the request of my viewers I've been calling A and B, I'm sending you screenshots of our Discord conversations in which they were telling me about their watch hours and to provide proof that they are valid hours. This is the 100 hours plus. Now I've done the math, it's 140 hours. I've been telling you about for the playlist Project Renascinctus live streams, and there's a link again. The new filter that is marking these views and thus the watch hours as invalid has issues, if I'm interpreting your last response correctly. These are valid watch hours that I'm being deprived of on my channel, and these are the only ones I can currently provide proof for because I know they're being missed. So, obvious implication, there could be a heck of a lot more. So this is the first screenshot. I have redacted out things that had to do with other conversations. So at the end of, basically it's what I had included in that original PDF. My current data showing 7 hours of watch time of Project Renascinctus between February 1st to 9th. That sound about right? Fox Crimson replies, considering we're on episode 30 from episode 1, no, and we started on episode 1. So then I asked, what day? He said Sunday. BVB later, which BVB is the wife in the duo, and she later said that it was actually Saturday. Fox says, we watched it consistently throughout the entire week, volume up, awake on our Hulu. And I said, okay, thank you. It's starting to look like the watch hours are borked in general. Then I make some other comments. So he said that was when they started it. And the first 4 or 5 episodes, depending on length, basically we were trying to figure out where the 7 hours were coming from. And actually, as I did the math later, it was 15 hours for the first 5. Are you watching the live stream playlist or the journals and highlights now? I do have 2 playlists. I want to make sure we were talking about the live stream one, because that's the one I was seeing the hours for. And on the next page, BVB says we started watching them on the Roku the day we brought baby home. So that would have been Saturday. Started with episode 1 and we're way into it now. We've been letting it play in the background since baby keeps one of us at least up all hours of the day and night. Keep us informed on how that goes. And she watches it sometimes too with daddy on the couch. Oh, and we're watching the live streams, not the highlights. So then I said that I'd be writing an extensive email, which I've already read to you guys and shown you the various bits from. And I said, I hope to find out more what's going on. And then the second from the bottom here, BVB says, after we get done with PR, that's for Project Renascinctus, Val, I'll set it to do the Fallout videos. So they weren't done yet. And then the last sentence is, I just heard you and Kale having a fight. This was well after Daniel died. This is in reference to content within the Project Renascinctus live streams that they were watching. And then in response to a private message that I had sent her, she said, when I said that, the hours were just not there, she says, no, I really like the PR series and I've been telling Fox about it. That's one of the reasons I threw it on instead of something else, and I knew that it would give you a lot of hours. And apparently YouTube wants to deprive you of that. And yes, they have. And so this is a message from Fox. BVB is holding baby right now. Newborn baby. We're always having somebody up at all hours, which means there is always someone on the TV. It's valid watch hours. Please make sure to include that in your response. It may help. And I actually gave them pre-approval of the various images that I have shown you today as well, to make sure that I have permission to show those. Because otherwise I would have redacted a heck of a lot more stuff. Right, so then I said, I realized that I'd missed one of the messages, and I said, hey, YouTube partner person, I missed one of the messages. Sorry about that, and I sent that along. BVB said, hey, Val, yeah, we live in Massachusetts, so that's our stuff showing up for you on the 12th. Basically, this is when we're talking about another test that we did. Personally, I don't mind if you mention us, and it's my YouTube account that's connected to the Roku if that'll help you at all with what you need to say to them. And then there's some more comments about the other test. And I will show you the results of that test, because I was trying to determine if the Roku TV was blocking watch time, because that was a possibility. It might have had some kind of extension or something on there that was causing the same issue that I'd originally noticed with the privacy extension on my husband's computer. Is there any other information I can try to get you to show you that these new filters are incorrectly flagging valid views and thus watch hours as invalid? This is the response back on the 15th of February. Hi Val, thank you for getting back. As mentioned, it's normal to see fluctuation in your video views. So then he goes on again about videos and views, not about the fact that there is any inaccuracies or that it's overzealous or any of the client side stuff that I was concerned about. Vague answers. All of them were vague answers, and I only got one piece of information. They had made a change on the 29th of January going forward till now that has changed the way they decide what watch hours get thrown out. So, that's it. That is the end of the slideshow. I'm sorry, I know that was a big section, but I wanted to provide you with everything I had so that you could see what I see. So, I also wanted to show you some current data of the various videos that I talked about. And in fact, I think I'll just refresh the page here so we can make sure it's absolutely correct. Okay, so this is restricted from February 1st to February 11th. That's the same time frame as the one that I showed earlier. And basically, we are still only seeing the Canada watch hours. And we'll go down here into Canada. As you can see, we are only seeing the watch hours from my February 11th test with the extension off. When the extension was on, we still get no data. Second thing I'd like to show you is Project Renascincta's past live stream. So this is from, again, February 1st to February 11th, the time period in which BVB and Fox were watching my playlist. And as you can see, still only 16 hours. There's 140 hours missing, and it's 140 because if you go into the United States metric, down here once more, you can see that those were other people watching various episodes. This is BVB and Fox. They started the playlist 7 times, and it only counted 10 of their hours. So, the vast majority of the playlist that they watched in a valid manner was not counted. Interesting. And this is I didn't refer to this one specifically in the emails because this was the test that I said that I would get back to him on if it showed anything interesting. And basically what this test is showing is that there's 2 sets of views. And actually, let me just drill down into here. In the United States. Okay. So on the 13th, or was it the 12th? I can go back and check, but Massachusetts, that's BVB and Fox watching this particular one on their Roku TV to make sure, and it showed up fine, so we know it's not the Roku TV that's at fault. There's no extension or blocker or any kind of thing on there that was causing the issue. The Arizona was somebody else watching it the next day. One of my other viewers was to see if the watch hours were showing up correctly for them, because they were also not showing up as watching any of my stuff. And yep, theirs showed up fine. Now, the thing is that a lot of my viewers have been watching using that handy mechanic called a playlist. But it looks very much to me like if you watch in a playlist and if you don't interact with the video in some mystical fashion, then your watch hours get thrown out. You're marked as a bot and your watch hours are thrown out. Even though, as you can see from my example with BVB and Fox, they were watching it in a valid manner, but because they didn't watch it in the correct manner, it was all thrown away. And I think that's just not right. What's the point of a playlist if you can't use it like one? Now, something that has been suggested, for other issues like this in the past and implemented by Netflix is, well, if you're worried about people actually watching, then why don't you pause it after X amount of no time with interaction? 1 episode, 2 episodes, and say, hey, let's make sure somebody's actually watching, and pause it. Put up a message saying, hey, are you still watching? Press this to continue. There's lots of things that they could do other than just throw out the information. After all of this, there's some questions that I have. Just how big is this iceberg of missing watch time? How much watch time is and hasn't been recorded? How much valid watch time is YouTube misclassified as bogus? How many privacy extensions are interfering with watch time accumulation? How long has this been going on? And from a personal note, am I going to get kicked out of the YouTube Partner Program when, if the watch time data was actually accurate, I may qualify, but I have no way of knowing? So in conclusion, let me get a little less aggravated here. Let's sound a little calmer. Let's go back to my possible reasons that I started this video off with for missing watch time. A. Something fundamental is being stored and or calculated client-side that can be interfered with. I have provided you with suggested data that says the answer to this is yes. Yes, there is. B. YouTube could be discarding legitimate watch time is invalid without notification. We've also found out the answer to this too. Yes, and especially since the 29th of January 2018, because that's the period in which I started investigating because I was noticing issues. So, the tip of the iceberg. the new YouTube Partner Program requirements. In my opinion, using watch time as a measuring tool to remain or to decide who gets to remain in the YouTube Partner Program is fundamentally flawed. More valid watch time is being thrown out by an aggressive new filter or bot. I'm not sure exactly what it would be. Small creators who should qualify will be removed from the YouTube Partner Program because YouTube isn't capturing all the data. There's suggestive evidence that a fundamental function on the client side is being blocked by privacy tools. So bad actors could be falsifying their watch data to remain in the YouTube Partner Program by meddling client side. Thus, the whole point of this YouTube Partner Program change that YouTube made it's only going to eliminate the legitimate small creators and potentially fail to remove the worst of the bad actors that this whole thing was about in the first place. Or at least that's what they said. And then there's the body of the iceberg under the waterline. How long has YouTube been throwing out valid watch time? We know it's gotten worse since the 29th of January, but it's probably been going on for much longer than that. This is an issue that affects all creators. Any calculation on how visible to make a video, recommendations, watch next, trending, are being done on incomplete data. So this is my call to action for you guys, because time, it's running out. To viewers, continue to support your favorite creators, large and small, by helping amplify this issue through sharing this video. Remember that YouTube is throwing away watch hours, so if you're watching videos in a playlist, don't do it without interacting with the video. Pause and start it. I don't know how they determine. Just make sure YouTube knows that there's someone there watching the video so that the filter doesn't throw out your watch time. To other creators, we need to make an issue of this before untold number of legitimate small creators are removed from the YouTube Partner Program based on an inaccurate metric. If you're a creator big or small, please amplify this issue by sharing this video, making your own, or sharing any of your findings if you do research into this as well. If you're a creator who loves numbers, do some testing on your own and show those results, especially if you're good at delving into how YouTube is using client-side data to determine watch time. And to YouTube, I understand that you need to deal with scammers and content thieves, your bad actors of the 16th of January announcement. But how can you do that using inaccurate watch hours, whatever their cause? So I'm begging you, please suspend the deadline of the 20th of February 2018 for the YouTube Partner Program new requirements until you can find a better way of accomplishing your stated goal. Otherwise, you will be unfairly removing a multitude of legitimate small creators who should be meeting your new YouTube Partner Program requirements, but they won't be because tons of valid watch time isn't even being counted. I'd like to thank you all for watching through this long recording, this video. I hope you're as alarmed as I am by my findings, and I hope to see you in the stream sometime. Y'all take care now. Bye.